A little bit off. My bad, y'all. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Y'all bear with me. Hold on a second. Let me get some light. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Mic is Hot live podcast show. It's been a minute since I've been up here with y'all. I miss you guys. I hope y'all seen the promo for the little live show we doing tonight with a special guest friend of mine, Mr. James Nix, coming on the camera with me to talk about a few topics, dealing with some relationships and things that pertain to the men, some things that pertain to the women, because we know y'all like them kind of conversations. What's going on, family? Everybody that does typically tune in to the Mic is Hot. Things have been having to be arranged. We usually go live every Thursday night, but we have had to change schedules. It's been crazy. Life has been crazy. Life keeps going. Life keeps moving. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. So we got a little show for y'all tonight. It's gonna be some cool conversation, a little vibe, a little kickback. I'm gonna take some clips off of this live and post them on our other platforms, like on Instagram and Facebook, for some of y'all that don't really be on YouTube like that. And I do appreciate anybody that shares the promos for us whenever I do the promo for the live shows, so that people can tune in. But what's popping with everybody? I hope y'all are having a lovely Saturday. And it's just been a lot going on. I'm just looking forward to what's yet to come for the future. I hope everybody's out there being safe, working hard. A lot of changes are happening in the world, of course. I don't know if you guys have been like, I don't know if it's me, or since we're talking about relationships tonight, I don't know if it's me or if you guys have been noticing. Doesn't it seem like lately there's like a gender war going on? Like there has been this constant battle between like men and women. And it seems like everybody knows the problem to everything, but nobody can find the solutions to the problem. And honestly, I personally feel like people are just not taking the time to communicate and have an understanding with one another. And I think that's why this gender war is going on. It seems like everybody that in this day and age, or in this generation, or whatever you want to, modern times, modern men, modern women, everybody is just kind of like being what is it, selfish. It seems like everybody is trying to be in a relationship but still thinking for themselves. And it's not going to work that way. For everybody that's kind of going through this whole back and forth thing with the gender wars and, oh, men don't like women, women don't like men, I honestly think there's a balance when it comes down to men and women. There's supposed to be a balance there and an understanding of conversation. And another thing that I think too, I just think a lot of people do not communicate with each other, and a lot of people just don't be honest. Like they're truly not honest about what they really want in a partner, what they really want in a relationship. And then at times it can be confusing sometimes when you're trying to be in a relationship or you're trying to court somebody and everything is transactional, or everything is about what another person can do for you and this, that, and the third. So I feel like nowadays when people are getting in a relationship, they're not thinking about getting in a relationship so that they can grow with somebody, so that they can build with somebody. It's just basically getting in a relationship for somebody to take care of me, or I'm not alone. And that's vice versa, the men too, not just the women. Men want to be taken care of in different ways from women. But it does seem like, and it also seems like too, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations when it comes down to relationships. Let me put you guys on a brief. Let me see what's going on with my guest here. Give me one. Hold on, are we back? Okay, we back. We back. I don't even know if it got the first set. If my guest doesn't show up tonight, we will just postpone the live. It is a long weekend. It is a 3-day weekend for some of us. So if we don't get to go live, if it doesn't work out tonight, we can always go live tomorrow night or try going live a little bit earlier on Monday night. But yeah, like I was saying about the whole gender war thing, I see a lot of podcast platforms like Daily Wrap Up Crew. Shout out to Daily Wrap Up Crew. What's the other one? Tonight's Conversation Cards, I think it is, which is a really good podcast platform. Shout out to you guys too. Even some of my home base from my home base podcast family in Virginia, BNT podcast. Shout out to y'all. They've had conversations too about just like relationships and the whole back and forth battle with between men and women. But I really just want to get you guys' insight on that from the audience. Like, what do you guys think about just everything that's going on between men and women and why we're really lacking an understanding with one another? And it doesn't seem like it should be so complicated. I just think that honestly, men and women, we're different for a reason. And if you have differences, like it's like that yin and yang type thing. You got to have the yin and the yang to intertwine to create that balance. And honestly, I think that is the issue today too. I think a lot of people are trying to be the same. Like women are trying to be kind of like the guys. And I'm not going to say the guys are trying to be like the women, but a lot of the time the guys are just not holding themselves accountable for not being able to commit or grow within their relationship. And then a lot of the times, I think sometimes even with the women, they become really selfish in their relationship where it's more of a gimme, gimme, gimme instead of reciprocating that energy where you give and take between your partners. And I see some of the conversations that people have on social media platforms, and it's just kind of like, okay, some of these issues could easily be resolved if everybody just took the time to understand one another. And this starts with communication. If you don't communicate, when you're courting and you're courting or you're going on a date, I know courting is like a throwback word, but that's really what it is. Like when you're dating, it doesn't always have to necessarily be you got to spend crazy money. A lot of people just don't get creative when they're taking somebody out on a date. And once again, that goes back to communication. So if you're not communicating to somebody what you like or what your interests are or anything like that, how's a person going to know how to really get you to attract to them? You know what I'm saying? So like communication is definitely key when you're trying to date somebody. And also it's important as well to know what somebody is really getting themselves involved with you for. If it's for beneficial reasons and you're really looking for more of an emotional connection and they're looking for maybe more of a financial assistance type of connection, then, you know, this whole equally yoked thing, that's a real thing. And all of that starts from when you conversate with somebody. And I was trying to see if I could find, since I'm waiting on my friend to come up here, I don't know if he's going to show up. I don't know if he's having some technical difficulties. I did promo. So if he doesn't show up, you guys will always just reschedule. It happens. Shit happens. I want to show you guys something that I actually wanted to talk about this on another show, but I think it holds a lot of weight. Since we're waiting on my guest, I'm going to go ahead and show this clip and then maybe just talk a little bit about it.
Cheating women. Women that accept cheating men are cheating women. It's really that simple. And women who don't accept cheating men are the loyal ones. So if you're going to cheat on your wife and you're going to cheat on your partner and you're thinking, but I'm looking after her, so it's okay, and the red pill community really pushes that, here's what they're not realizing. Only unfaithful women are okay with that deal. I promise you, I work with them every single day. What happens is the woman that's actually loyal and really loves you, she can't handle the anxiety of it. She can't do it because she's too loyal, she's too loving, she's too this, that, and the other. She disappears, she makes her life hell, she's horrible, whatever it is, but she's tends to be loyal. But the woman who is there for a paycheck and who's there sneaky, accepting it, this, that, and the other, I promise you she's plotting her revenge, because in this day and age, the loyal woman, and where she would just stay at home and just close the door when you would do something, they don't exist anymore. We have to accept that doesn't exist anymore. So if that woman doesn't exist anymore, yeah, and yet you want to do that lifestyle, accept that only the women that are able to take a financial rather than emotional investment are going to stay. You're filtering it out.
What do you guys think about what she was saying? So basically, she was saying that any woman that is okay, like is just very nonchalant or is okay accepting of the fact that her man is going to cheat or have affairs or have multiple women, she's technically not going to be loyal to the relationship. She's only going to be loyal to what you can do for her. So basically like a financial attachment as opposed to an emotional attachment. So a lot of guys, I see this conversation a lot on social media. Give me 1 second. Let me see if he got my guest got the link. Okay, but yeah, so back to what I was saying. So basically, I see this conversation a lot on podcast platforms, especially some of the mostly majority men podcast platforms. Y'all be up here putting this whole, what's it called? Rhetoric of women just basically be accepting. Not all of you guys, not all of the men out here think this way, but excuse me, a lot of the guys that are on some of these male dominant, I'm not going to use the other M word, male dominant podcast platforms keep giving this message that women just need to accept basically or understand, which we do understand. We can have an understanding. We can have the logic to understand that some men do like to have a caliber of more than just one woman, which, okay, we get it. But at the same time, it's like, if you want a woman to be accepting of you having multiple situations with women, and then you want that one woman to just completely remain loyal to you and not entertain other men or one other man, I just think that is a really ridiculous message to give out to women, because we live in a day and time where women can do for themselves. They can be independent. They can make their own money. They can become their own CEOs, their own bosses, own their own businesses, all of that. Whereas back in the day where everybody's throwing this whole message about, oh, we don't have the traditional woman anymore. We don't have the traditional woman anymore. You hear about, oh, well, it's always that back and forth. When you hear the men saying, oh, the women are not traditional anymore. They don't like to cook. They don't like to clean. They don't like to be submissive to their man. And on top of that, a lot of these ideologies that everybody is talking about, all of this stuff stems within a marriage, not just a partnership that you have with somebody, which in this day and age, most people are just living together, cohabitating together, partnering together, and not always necessarily getting married. So some of these ideologies that everyone's pushing and these agendas and these messages that everyone's pushing doesn't even conform it's not even in the right box. So to me, to sit there and tell women that it's in a man's nature for him to, now, I do agree that it is in a man's nature for them to desire women in abundance. And I'm not saying like no crazy number, like thousands of women or hundreds of women, even though when you get to a certain status as a man, if you're a celebrity or you're a basketball player or something like that, you already have women kind of coming at you in abundance. So for the average man, basically is what I'm trying to say, to push that rhetoric of women need to just accept that men are going to be men and you either deal with it or you just be alone. I personally, in my opinion, I'm not going to say I feel, because then I feel like I'm expressing things off of my opinions and not off of my logic and I'm sorry, off of my emotions and feelings and not off of my logic and my opinions. So whenever I hear that message being pushed on podcast platforms, I'm just kind of like, okay, so you think it makes sense for someone to stay with you and you don't even respect the relationship within itself. Because to me, if you are with somebody and you are making these plans to be with them, and maybe in your mind you're thinking that you want to marry this person, or you see a future, or this person gets you and this is just your person, but at the same time you're still kind of in your selfish needs, I personally don't think you should even be in a relationship. You shouldn't be trying to date somebody and take them serious, and they want to be taken serious, but you're still, doing what you want to do. To me, if you're going to be in a relationship, that's what it is. It's a relationship between you and another person. And when you start adding outside entities and other things into the relationship, that's where I feel like it ends up conflicting, because when you're in a relationship, it's supposed to be your focus is supposed to be on you and that person, so that you and that person can grow and build together. It's already going to be challenges within the relationship, just getting to know and understand how a person thinks, a person's habits, a person's ways. So it's like you're basically complicating the relationship by not even trying to respect a relationship. So why even get into a relationship if you're, number one, not planning on building with that person, and number two, if you don't even respect the relationship? It doesn't make any sense. So I just, coming from my opinion and my own thoughts, I feel like there I go with the feel thing. I think, not necessarily feel, but I think that if you're going to get into a relationship with somebody, that you should have all that out of your system. So that way you know that this is exactly what you want to do, that you want to, and commitment. I don't understand. Like, what's confusing to me is that people will commit to everything else but their partner. They'll commit to their job. Hell, they'll even commit to goddamn their animal, their damn dog, their damn cat. They'll be loyal to a pet. They'll be loyal to their job, which if your job ends up going under or they no longer need you, they'll replace you like that. They're not thinking about your feelings. They're not thinking about the relationship that they have with you. But when you're in a relationship with somebody that you sleep with, that you're intimate with, that you putting your own insisted time with, but then you don't take the relationship serious, what type of sense does that even make? So I feel like a lot of these I'm sorry. I think, in my opinion, got to get that feel word out of there, because it ain't always about how you feel. Sometimes it's about just what makes sense and the logic of things and how things are supposed to kind of be in an orderly fashion, so that way it doesn't cause problems within your relationship. And I also think when guys on these podcast platforms are saying that women just need to be accepted, that men are going to be men and they're going to sometimes sleep with other women, and that doesn't mean they don't love you. But to me, it's like, okay, but then if you say that, okay, well, if you're going to do that, I might have my opportunity where I want to sleep with somebody else. And for some guys, not all, but for some guys, that's completely going, out of your relationship boundaries. And it's like, how is that fair? Because why does gender have to play in? Why just because you're a man, it is permissible and okay for you to sleep with a variant of women and an abundance of women? And don't get me wrong, I don't think that women should move like men. Just because we are the ones that are capable of becoming pregnant, if we sleep around as much as a man can sleep around, even though he can impregnate somebody. And that's another thing. All this whole message of, oh, the women need to keep their legs closed and this wouldn't happen and blah, 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 blah. It takes two to make a baby. Yes, the women do allow the access. And ladies, I will say, from my own experience, allowing access, make sure it is going to be the right access, or at least try to see if you can wait until you get married. Just because it does eventually end up being beneficial for you and the child if the man decides that he no longer wants to be with you, or he just decides to abandon his family. Because let's be real, people, more often, hear me clear, more often, not saying that women don't abandon their families as well, because they do, but more often, men can go off and create other families and other children with other women, because that's just the way that it's set up, unfortunately. So in some ways, unless he's a man like Nick Cannon, who's got a secured ass bag, and you know for a fact he's going to be able to provide for at least your child, because it's not necessary for the man to really provide for you in this day and age, because women can work, you can do, you can be independent on your own and get your own money. But I just think that this whole gender battle thing is not really necessary, because we all play a part in it. When it comes to a relationship, the female has her part and the guy has her part. And I also think with that whole rhetoric of women allow the access, that is true, but the man also controls his shooter. You can't get pregnant without a man. A man impregnates you. But as a woman, you are supposed to be extremely choosy and exclusive with who you give your body to, because that can be the end all be all for you, and the man can move on with his life. So it is detrimental, I think, more so as far as consequences for the woman, because like I said, she can end up pregnant, especially if he's a guy that, there are some guys out here that will really make you feel like they love you and they want to be with you just so they can get what they want from you. And as women, we have to be able to determine that type of energy coming from a man. So if that type of energy is coming from a man and he's not, and let's just say he's saying all the right things, but his actions aren't really matching up with what he's saying, and all he's doing is saying the right things. Most of the time when that's happening, he's really literally just trying to sleep with you. And then once he sleeps with you, it's game over, pretty much. He's done, he's conquered the quest, on to the next. And it's natural in a man. Y'all want to talk about this whole natural thing and natural instinct and what's in a man's nature. It's also in a man's nature to pursue a woman, because who finds the wife? The man is supposed to be pursuing so that he can ask the woman to become his wife and build a family. That's the whole order of it. That's the way that it's supposed to be orchestrated, so that everything falls in line and there's not a whole bunch of confusion, if I can say it like that. So with this whole rhetoric of men having this nature of not being able to have self-control, that's how I take it. Because even though you're a man and you have a penis, doesn't mean that you just gotta be out here slinging it everywhere. You can have self-control within yourself, and you do not have to, just because you're a man, have to prove to anybody else or prove to the world or prove to your friends or your homeboys or whatever that makes you a man by sleeping around with a lot of women. Because I'm going to tell you, having sex is a very deep thing. And I feel like in this day and age, and I'm not even going to say in this day and age, because people have, honestly, history repeats itself. People have been sleeping around, having babies out of wedlock for forever. Like for forever. Technically, probably since slavery, because at one point slaves couldn't even legally through the government per se get married, but they were still producing children, having babies. So with that being said, it's in a man's nature to desire women, but it's also, I think, something that God has put in a man to learn to control, because I feel like, in my opinion, if a man has really extreme self-control, and I probably shouldn't say extreme, but if he has consistent, that's a better word, consistent self-control with his penis, he can really get a top-notch woman. And he can get that submissiveness. He can get that loyalty. He can get that nurturing nature that men need as well from their woman. But I think that's another thing too. That message of that they put out here a lot on the podcast platforms, that men love women, especially the red pill platforms like Fresh and Fit. Shout out to y'all. But some of those messages that you guys pushing, I know you guys try to make it seem like it's a man's world, which it is a man's world, James Brown. But James Brown also says in that song that it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl, basically because we bring life into the world. That's basically what that means. But the man is running it. The man is in control. The man is the foundation. The man is the leader, right? So to get back to what I was saying, if a man has really good control over the woman that he sleeps with, and he's choosy with himself as well, I don't think just because you're a man, you're supposed to just sleep around with just anybody. I was saying sex has a very deep meaning. You know, when you're sleeping with people, you are exchanging a very deep and intimate type of energy. You are becoming one with another person. So anything that person is carrying on them, that ends up being with you. And you are creating an intimate bond with somebody. And you have to be careful who you choose to create that type of intimate bond with and allow your body to conform with another person. Because some people have attachment issues. And you got some guys out here that think that women just know, like, yeah, I told her, we just kicking in. She knows that I'm just, trying to figure these things out. I don't want to be in a committed situation. We just having fun. We kicking it. We hanging out. We can do our thing. We here and there, but we ain't in no serious relationship. But it's like, why? Why would you want to have sex with so many multiple people that you don't even want to be serious with, when having sex with somebody is a serious intimate, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? And it's an intimate involvement with somebody, And I think that's another thing that all of us, men and women, need to start changing too. We need to start realizing that sex is a very sacred and special and intimate and beautiful thing, and we need to treat it as such. And honestly, I'm not trying to sound hypocritical. I am a single mother. I have 2 children. My children's father is not involved in their lives. And sometimes it happens like that. You can be with somebody and think that the more love that you give them, the more that you show them, the more that you try to be involved with them, the more that you try to help them, the more that you try to build them up, the more that you try to encourage them, support them, that alone will make the person want to change and make them want to be with you because you're giving so much. But it doesn't work that way. That energy has to be exchanged, because what's going to end up happening, which happens to a lot of women, unfortunately, is we end up being drained. And then you become bitter. And then you start to think that every guy is the same way, when really, as women, sometimes we do have poor judgment, or we always think that we can try to change or make somebody be what we want them to be. And there's some men that are like that too with some women, where they might try to change their mentality for the better, or change their ways or their actions or their mindset for the better. And some women just think that they know everything, or they can't be told nothing, so they don't take the time to acknowledge a good man. And it happens on both sides. I just think with the gender war thing, it shouldn't be one. It shouldn't be a gender war. We should really, in this day and time, we should really be trying to find our person, our mate, our other half, our spouse, because I feel like love, in my opinion, not I feel like in my opinion, love holds a lot of weight and value to eliminate unnecessary destruction. And I think if people just brought things down to a very simple form instead of trying to complicate things, like nowadays, when a person wants to get in a relationship, is what can you do for me? Can you get my nails done? Can you get my hair done? Can you pay my bills? I got kids. Can you help me with my kids? When you really should be trying to see if you and that person are even a good fit for each other. If this person is even going to be compatible, is this person got a good character? Do they have a good heart? Are they kind? Are they understanding? Do they know how to carry on an intellectual conversation? Do they want to change some things about themselves? Are they content with just who they are and don't feel like they don't need to change anything? Like, there's so many variables that you should be trying to learn about a person before you just hop into bed with them, before you think that they're supposed to pay all your bills, before you think they're supposed to come over there and cook and clean and do some freaky things. You know what I'm saying? There's so many variables to people. And I think people are nowadays, everybody's in a rush with everything. They're in a rush with a relationship. They're in a rush to become somebody bigger than what they feel that they are, instead of taking their time, taking the necessary steps, educating themselves, having an understanding, and being patient, and not always being so quick to sleep with one another. I think that's what's dividing us more than anything, because sex has just become something that people just do now. It's not something that at one point used to be a very valuable thing. Nowadays, if you're a virgin, not saying that you'll get clown, but people kind of look at it like, what? Like, how? Why? Why would you? How could you be a virgin? Da 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 da. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm waiting on my guest to come in. He's saying he's not getting my link. So let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Pause right quick. I'm just up here talking, y'all. I think he might be trying to chime in. So if he does, we're going to keep the show rocking. It's already 9 o'clock. We said we wasn't going to get off here till 10 anyways. So let me see what's going to happen. Hold on, let me pull up these topics to you guys. Sorry, it's a very casual live tonight. And my co-host, he's working tonight. I know y'all know my Kenyatta boo. He's working tonight, so he's not able to come on the live. Some of these nights he's not going to be able to be live with me. Sometimes I might go solo. Sometimes I might have a guest. Sometimes y'all might just see me posting stuff. So, just bear with us. Like I said, life has been hitting hard. I'm sure it's been hitting hard for everybody, but just hold on a minute. Let me see. Let me see if I can get. All right, I'm just gonna run down to you guys really quick while we waiting on him. The topics that we was gonna talk about. The first topic was gonna be, why do men fear marriage but will have a child before unifying with their spouse? And are men more interested in relationships or procreating? Is it more drama dating a baby dad, baby father, or a baby mama? I just wanted you guys to share your perspectives on what the challenges are from each counterpart, from each party. Let me see. Let me see what's going on. Okay, let's see. He said, try and send it again. Let me try and send it again. All right, let's see what he gonna do, y'all. See, this is why we try to tell y'all to be ready. Be ready. Now it's all good. Sometimes it happens. Let me see. Oh, I can see myself on camera. Ow. Let's see what's up. Okay, so I think he about to join. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see if he's gonna be able to log on, y'all. Hopefully, hopefully. And I'm gonna be real with you. This was not the shirt that I wanted to wear. I was literally lounging, and then I was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go live," because I haven't been live in a minute. So I was just like, "Fuck it." I'm just gonna come up here and go live with y'all and wait on my guest, my homeboy. We go way, 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 way back. Way back. And I really want to have these conversations with him tonight. Where are you at, James? Bring yourself up here so we can have these conversations because I really want to get the man's perspective on this tonight. And we only got another half. No, we got about an hour. We got an hour and some minutes. So back to what I was saying. Y'all got to stop with the red pill agenda. Y'all got to stop trying to diversify. Diversify, is that the right word? Divide, not diversify. Divide, divide men and women. What we need to be trying to do is bring each other together. That's what we need to be trying to do. We already know the problems. Y'all talk about the problems all day long on social media. All day. I swear to God, on Instagram. All day long on social media about women not understanding men and men not understanding women. We get that part already, but what are we going to do to solve the issue? And I do think there needs to be more conversations. Oh, and like I was saying, I be going off topic sometimes, y'all. But when I showed y'all that clip of what the lady was saying about the cheating thing, okay, guys, if you want a woman that's going to be accepting of you sleeping around or you having multiple women that you deal with, it don't even have to necessarily be that you just casually sleep around. It could be like one or two, and you got your main chick, so maybe three altogether, and you got two other chicks that you deal with on the side, however you deal with them. But them are your three or your four or your two or whatever. But if your main knows that this is how you moving, is she cool with it? I know a lot of you guys will be like, yeah, man, my girl, she be cool. She know what I do. Blah, 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 blah. Just know she's not sticking with you for emotional attachment. She's only sticking with you for what you can do for her. She's clearly getting something out of it if she's going to literally stand by your side, knowing that you have other involvements with other women. And these days, y'all just be taking too many risks. Y'all just be out here sleeping with any and everybody, some of everybody. Don't be wrapping it up. STDs is going crazy. People catching diseases like crazy. And it's like, look, it makes sense why things were ordained to be in a order. Because if you are doing things out of order, what ends up happening? Chaos, disease, problems, issues, mental health. Everybody says that they got a mental health this and mental health that. Don't be letting nobody make you mentally unhealthy. Because at the end of the day, we all have a choice. Everybody has a choice to be in a good situation, a bad situation, or to stay content. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're not happy, but they buy you shit, or they take you on trips, or the sex is good, but you're not being fulfilled, you're not being motivated, you're not being encouraged, you're not being supported, you're not being loved, then that's not really a relationship. That's more of you just being with somebody because you don't want to be alone. And we got a lot of that going on these days. No one is just really truly valued. And the thing is, a relationship is necessary if you want to have family, if you want to have children. if you want to unify and build something, and take it from me, I made my mistakes in my past with my children's father because I thought that I could be an influence to somebody who really wasn't, who really couldn't even be influenced. And that it doesn't work that way. Like I said, a person has to really want to change. A person has to really want to play their part in the relationship. It has to be a balance. And if there's no balance, it's purposeless and it's pointless. Very simple. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Pause. Let me see if I can send it again. Because I think he's having a little bit of difficulty. We having some technical difficulties, y'all. Bear with us. Bear with us. Okay. I guess while we waiting, let me see if I can find something on Instagram that I thought. Okay. Since we talk about baby mama and baby daddy with one of the topics, I seen this post. I came across this post today on Instagram from the platform with Spiritual Word. Shout out to Spiritual Word. And I do not understand this person's tag name in their tweet, but I'm gonna try. Wanjiru, I think it's Wanjiru at Wanji001. She put an interesting post, and I want to read this out to y'all. Okay, she said people think it's a joke. Baby mama and daddy are bonded through a child and soul ties. Now, boom, I'm gonna pause y'all right there. I'm gonna pause you right there. You can be bonded through a child, in a sense that you basically connected your DNA and made a child. And the soul tie part is only if you and that baby daddy are still involved. In my situation, me and my baby daddy are not involved. I haven't seen him in years. We don't know where he is, nothing. Just to get personal for a hot second. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a bond because you have a child. You have to actually be in it with that person for there to continuously be a bond. You can have a baby with somebody and not have a bond with the person. Okay? And then the whole soul ties, which is deep. The soul tie is only there if you are continuing to be involved with your baby daddy. That's the only way that soul tie runs deep, because you can cut a soul tie. I done cut plenty of soul ties. It's real easy to cut a soul tie. No ifs, ands, buts about it. This is where the self-control come in. If you are in a situation with someone and then you sleeping and creeping with your baby mom and your baby daddy because y'all got a child and a soul tie, why are you with somebody else? Okay? She says, which is deep. That's a point. She said our relationship, I guess she's referring to herself, because she ain't referring to me. I'm an exception to the rule. Our relationship with baby daddies never dies, and we give them throwback sex. Now look, fellas, she letting y'all know. So for any of y'all out there that's dating a baby mama that still might be involved with her baby daddy, hello, the light should be clicking on. She letting y'all know right now that most of the time, most baby mamas and most baby daddies, y'all ain't excluded, go back and creep with their baby mamas. Now, this is where it gets confusing to me. Hold on. Let me just take a quick pause. Let me see if I can send to my friend through his phone. Let me try it that way, because it might not be working. Let's see. Sometimes these devices, man, I be trying to tell people. It wasn't working through the phone. Earlier, I was trying to send my friend the link to come on live with me. It wasn't working at first, but now it looks like it's working. So let me see if you can get on that way. Let's see. I'm losing my train of thought, y'all. But yeah, okay, we're gonna go back to it. Okay. She says, going back to that post, our relationship with baby daddies never dies, and we give them throwback sex when they come to fetch. First of all, the word fetch our kids, it's a reality of marrying someone's baby mama. The baby daddy is always first priority with the child. The rest is second or fifth choice. Wait a minute now. Hold on, shorty. So you telling me it's a reality of marrying someone's baby mama? So first of all, you're telling me that if a man decides to marry you and you have kids with another man, and let's just say he don't have kids with anybody, and he decides to marry you, that he's supposed to risk giving up everything that he's worked hard for, put all his energy and time into you, for you to basically say that you're basically saying, she's basically saying that regardless of the situation, this is what you're going to have to deal with if you marry a baby mom or if you marry a baby dad. I totally disagree. No. If you're going to be involved with someone that's had children with somebody else, you need to definitely be thorough with that. You need to definitely make sure that there is no type of intimate, no type of romantic feelings involved between the two before you ever even think about proposing and marrying somebody, especially if you're a man that doesn't even have children at all and you're taking on a woman and somebody else's children, and especially if the baby father is around and is heavily involved with his kids. I think that I do agree with the men when it comes down to them wanting to take on a woman who has children with another man. I do think that it needs to be very well thought out for the man, especially if he's a man that does not have children, and it needs to make sense. Y'all might get mad at me, ladies, on that, but some of y'all ladies out here, y'all not putting yourselves in a man's shoes, and you're not once again, you're being kind of selfish, and you're not being understanding to the fact that a man does not have to take care of another man's child that you decided to also lay down with and create these children. So if you find a man that loves you enough, that wants to marry you and help raise your children, that is a diamond in the rough. And I'm sorry, but you really need to be super appreciative to that man. As women that get involved with men that already have children with somebody else, I still think the dynamics are kind of somewhat the same, but not really, because the woman is not really going to be providing for that family. The man is going to be providing for that family. The woman in this case is just going to be kind of like closing the gap if she becomes a stepmom, because ultimately the man is still running the household. He's providing for his children already. You don't have to really come in and be a provider, unless you want to. Of course, if you're dating a man or you get married to a man with kids, of course you're gonna want to show your affection and your appreciation and your level of is it endearment? I think that's the word, to the children by maybe, taking them out, doing things with them. So that's a way of you bonding with them, because if you're going to be married to their father, the children have to know that you care about them just as much as you care about the father. It becomes a relationship between everybody. But I do think that for the man, they are taking a bit more of a risk if they are getting into a situation with a woman who has children, okay, and she's been the head of household and she might be the provider, but let's face it, a lot of us women, even the ones that are big bosses and CEOs, which is not that many women that get the opportunity to, be on that level as a man when it comes to a big boss or a CEO. If a man is coming to a situation with a woman and he has his stuff together, he doesn't have a lot of stress. He has his peace. He doesn't have any children. He basically gets to come and go as he pleases without having to have that guilt trip of leaving behind his family. And then he decides that, I'm at a place in my life now where I have everything that I want and need. I'm stable financially. I just don't feel complete because I don't have family. I don't have anybody to share my my foundation, basically what I built. I want to share it with somebody, but I also want somebody that's going to come into my situation and understand it and keep it balanced and not bring it down. So I do think for men, you do have to be a little bit more particular about the woman that you choose to marry if she has children with another man. Just because you don't want to be taking a major L, because you're not only bonding with a woman, but now you're bonding with the kids. And if the kids, let's say the kids don't even have their father that's consistent that much in their life, and now these children look to you as someone like a father figure, and let's just say the woman is maybe not balancing out the relationship part, and she's looking at you more as a beneficial necessity instead of a partner, a lover, a friend, a husband, and somebody that you can ultimately build a life with, because the children grow up. The children grow up and leave. So when you are in a relationship with someone and you have children, you also have to understand that balance. Yeah, your children come first, but if you're going to be in a relationship with a man, especially a man that's not your child's father, you're going to have to do a little bit of going above and beyond to maintain that, because that man basically has gone above and beyond, because no man has to come into a situation with a woman and take care of something that she basically created and brought into the world that he didn't have a part of. That's, if you think about it, ladies, it's really not fair. And I hear a lot of women just saying, that's what a man is supposed to do and da 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 da. And it's like, it's not really what he's supposed to do. If he's willing to do, that's great. That's beautiful. That's a blessing. And you should be very grateful for that. But to tell somebody that's what they're supposed to do, and you're bringing additional, I don't want to say baggage, but you're bringing additional responsibility into a relationship, when a relationship between just two people is work within itself. Now you got to incorporate children. People just need to start being more open-minded and thoughtful about certain things. So if you can't be open-minded and thoughtful and understanding of another person's needs and wants, that's what it's about when you're in a relationship. And when you're in a relationship, you should want to please your partner. You should want to have an understanding. If you care, this is where the love comes in and the care comes in. But nowadays, it just seems like everybody is really for self, and everybody just wants to be with somebody that can do something for them, and not in a, how can you make me better, do something for me? What type of energy do you bring and give to me that makes me want to be a kinder person, that makes me maybe want to be more patient, maybe more helpful, maybe more generous, maybe more thoughtful. Those are the things that you should be looking for when you're looking for a partner and you're trying to build with somebody. Not what they can buy you if they take you on trips. And all that stuff can come. All that stuff can come, especially when a man sees that you put your effort into other areas besides materialistic things or transactional things. Men, that's how men operate. Technically, if you are not being so demanding as a woman on what a man need to do for you, the guy is going to automatically want to do for you. But a lot of women these days are just putting this stamp down like a man is supposed to do something. He's supposed to do something for me. As a matter of fact, I saw this one clip where a young lady was saying, let me see if I can find it. I can hold this up and show this to y'all. And then I'm probably going to close out because I'm not sure what happened with my guest for tonight. I do apologize, you guys, for the fact that he wasn't able to get on the live. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure maybe I'll be able to reschedule with him and he will be able to come on the live. I believe he was having some technical difficulties because it looks like it wasn't really working for him. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. So I had to send that message to my friend. I do apologize, to you guys again tonight. It would have been a really, really good show. We might just postpone it. I did get to have like a little free conversation, show my face again, because I haven't seen anybody. I might just put this up on YouTube and just see what people say and see if I can get some comments or some interaction. But I do want to show this to you guys really quickly. A woman says, this is with Spiritual Word again. Shout out to Spiritual Word on Instagram. Woman says a man should always make a way. You're the man. You have a penis. Go get a job. 3 jobs and 2 side hustles to buy me the things I want because I'm a woman. Check this out, y'all.
And should always make a way. I feel like I'm not gonna work my hands to the bones to provide. I'm not gonna work 16 to 20 hours a day or a week to provide for my family. You're the man, you have the penis, go get a job, get 3 jobs. My man has 2 jobs. Go get 7 jobs and 2 side hustles to buy me the things that I want because I'm a woman and should always make a way. I feel like I'm not gonna.
Okay, here we go with that gender shit. Because you're a woman, a man should tire himself out. She said 7 jobs and 2 side hustles. So that's 9 jobs. When are you ever bonding with your man? That's not what a relationship is about. A relationship is not about because you got a penis, you're supposed to get 7 jobs and 2 side hustles so you can buy your woman what she wants. No. Honestly, be a resourceful man. I think a lot of men should be able to get back to the nitty gritty, working with their hands, being able to be resourceful in other ways than just working a 9 to 5. You can do that as well. I'm not knocking 9 to 5s. Don't get me wrong. But as a man, I do think you should be able to have some type of multiple streams of income. But I also think women should too, especially if you are a woman who is a sole provider for your household. That's another conversation. But just going in retrospect of what she was saying, that does not make a relationship. Relationship is what y'all can do together. If y'all can overcome certain circumstances, certain situations, being down bad and going through it together without one or the other leaving or something like that, that is how you truly test your love and your compatibility and your companionship for someone else. not them working 80 million jobs so that they can buy you a Birkin bag or buy you a Chanel purse or buy you the new iPhone or take you to, what's that place everybody want to go to, Dubai. That's not what it's supposed to be about. And how are you bonding with your partner if they working all the time? In a relationship, you got to put forth effort. You got to learn to have balance if you're going to be in a relationship and you want to be able to enjoy a little bit of the finer things. Don't get me wrong. But nowadays, honey, taking trips and buying shit is not cheap. Even going out to eat ain't cheap no more. It ain't like it used to be. Everybody got to work now. They don't got to set up like that. So if you want to be a woman that kind of wants to stay in your, as they say, your femininity, maybe get a man that balances out your finances. So let's say maybe you're a woman that works a part-time job. You're a secretary or you work customer service or whatever it is, and your man really make the big bucks. Okay. If he makes the big bucks, balance it out. Your man shouldn't be overworking himself to the point where he can't even pour into you. That doesn't make any sense. You want your man to just pour into you financially and not emotionally, not spiritually, not mentally. That's what's wrong with these relationships now. All y'all care about is what somebody can buy you and do for you. That is not a relationship. That's just somebody basically, it's like you almost sound like a child. That's like somebody just spoiling you, which is nice to be gifted when you deserve to be gifted. And you don't have to only just be gifted by somebody buying you things. People need to start getting back into being creative and thoughtful and being able to go into their person's interests to show their affection, to show that they care. Everything doesn't have to always be about money. What is going on in this day and time? Everything is about money. And that's just to me, doesn't start out for a healthy situation. She's talking about my man worked 2 jobs. That is beautiful. That's great that he works 2 jobs, but I guarantee he doesn't work 2 jobs just so he can buy you things. And you also have to also be considerate of somebody else's needs. What do you do? Your man working 2 jobs to buy you things. What do you do to balance that out? Are you peaceful? Do you support him? When he come in, do he have a meal since he working 2 jobs? Do you sometimes take him out, buy him something? Or when he come home, just gift him with something because he is busting his ass? Come on, ladies. It's got to be a balance. You can't just have a man doing any and everything and the most for you and you're just not giving nothing but some vagina. That's out the window these days. Guys want a little bit more of some intellect, something a little bit less boring, conversation, not this, snapping all in the phones, all looking cute, all with your body pictures showing off. It's that's not keeping a real man. Let's put it that way. You got to be able to find that balance if you want to have a wholesome relationship with somebody. And just like the guys want their demands, the women have their demands as well. So fellas, you got to be able to make that balance too. And if you find yourself dealing with a woman that all she basically wants from you is beneficial things and transactions, she's not the one, bro. She's not the one. Because when you fall down hard or you have a hard moment or your money get a little funny, she gone. She gone, bro. Y'all dudes need to stop being so fat ass and she a bad bitch and she bad and this red bone and this, that, and I need me or whatever. Stop being so captivated by physical. Start having conversations with some of these women. And I guarantee it'll tell you everything that you need to know. I guarantee you go on a date with somebody, not to know movies, your first or second date, whatever, not to know movies, not nowhere where you guys can't have a conversation. I guarantee by the second date, you'll know if you want to keep going or not. By the first date, if you want to keep going or not, just by conversation. Stop hopping into the bed so quickly with people. Because all that does is cause confusion. And then a lot of the times it clouds your judgment. That's a good way to put it. It clouds your judgment. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and close out. I've been talking for a whole hour. This was supposed to be a collaborative show. I'm not sure what happened with my friend James, but we might have to run that back with him as a special guest. We'll see what happens in the future. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being supportive. And to everybody that's been asking me, when you going to go live, then I go live, and then don't nobody pop in, don't nobody participate. I'm going to be on, y'all. I'm not going to be coming up here going live, and ain't nobody want to go live, don't nobody want to interact, but I am going to start doing more video reactions on YouTube once I kind of get things a little bit more balanced out with my schedule and going live, because I do enjoy going live with the people and posting, and some of you guys actually commenting and giving feedback, which is great. But this podcast platform, I really want it to be an interaction with the audience. I want you guys to call in. I want you guys to pop on camera. You don't have to stay on for the whole show, but it's so much more engaging when you get to interact with the people and get the different perspectives and hear what people have to say. It's just a really good time. And for everyone else that doesn't really, that hasn't been following, please hit the bell and subscribe to the Mic is Hot live podcast show on YouTube so we can get our subscribers up. We only have 83 subscribers. Hopefully we can get more subscribers up. The more people that want to start coming on live shows and interacting, I can start scheduling more live events so we can start having collaboration podcast shows. I do also want to start collaborating with some other content creators as well, future-wise. Also follow the podcast platform on Instagram at the Mic is Hot Instagram live podcast _show. We have a good amount of followers on that podcast platform, a good amount of videos, a lot of stuff that y'all can run back, y'all can comment, y'all can talk about. If you guys have ideas for topics that you want to see somebody actually talk about that people really don't talk about, please DM me, send me messages. You can leave me comments on YouTube. You can message me on Facebook. You can also follow us on Facebook at the Mic is Hot, the Mic is Hot live podcast _show on Facebook. And you can also send me a message through there letting me know about any other topics that you guys want to see discussed. I also want to start doing like video reaction collaborations with people. I'm trying to learn how to do the screen recording with multiple people, but I don't think you can do screen recording with multiple people. I think what would happen is I would have to screen record the video and then play the video back like on live and then get people to react to maybe my reaction and the video, which I think would be really cool because I haven't really seen too many people doing something like that. Don't steal my idea, content creators up here on YouTube. I'm just playing. But thank you for anybody that might have possibly glanced in for a second. I appreciate the love and support. To people that be sharing my promo reels on Instagram. Shout out to The Wave TV, BNT Podcast, GOAT Live, Talk Radio, any of my people that are a fan of the show. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And until next time, peace.